the Open Public Meetings Act. Posting of this meeting was made available at the Leonia Middle School, Leonia High School, Leonia Elementary School, Community Bulletin Board, the Leonia School District's website, social media, and our Remind text message service. Everybody, that was close. Move that there. If everyone could please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Flag is over there. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Great. Gotcha. All right. Roll call, please.
Ms. Albanese,
Present.
Ms. Troy, Ms. De Jesus,
Present.
Mr. Lee,
Not present. You're not here.
Ms. Melman,
Present.
Mr. Parr, Ms. Rocco, Ms. Thompson,
Present.
Ms. Wilds, and Mr. Robbins.
Present.
We have a quorum.
Thank you very much. Oh, and the student reps, you guys are here.
Oh, and as well, we have Dr. Bertolini, the superintendent. We have myself, business administrator, board secretary, Eric Tomasevich. We have Dr. Karamanos, assistant superintendent, and we have the two student representatives, Amelia Morello and Eli Kindler.
Thank you very much. All right, we'll now move to the public comment portion of the meeting. I want to thank Mary and Christina for sharing some notes, ideas to make the public more aware of how public comment operates. So you'll notice that is an addition to our agenda. And I think it's a good reminder for everybody to get a grasp of what public comment is if it's their first time attending a board meeting, and a refresher if it's not. All right, with that, is there a motion to take us into public comment? Maria, is there a second? Mary, all in favor? Any opposed, any abstentions? Great. I will now enter public comment. Would you like to make a public comment? No? Okay. Seeing no other members of the public present, is there a motion to take us back to the regular portion of the meeting? Noreen, is there a second? Mary, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed, any abstentions? No. That was quick and easy. All right, we're now into board comment. We're now in board comment. Are there any members of the board or student reps that have comments? Agenda item? Or any board item?
Today's the lot of agenda has there's some like removal of books and some sporting equipments and music equipments. And I was wondering, like, have we thought about like somewhere else? Maybe they want. I don't know how old they are. But
Yeah, that's the problem. All the equipment that we are discarding is not usable. It's just schools don't give out equipment. We don't throw out equipment unless it's not usable at all. So
what about books?
books are outdated. They're either copyright is no longer. Probably the books that we're going to discard. I don't know exactly.
If like other folks can use.
Yeah.
Say that again, I'm sorry.
I got it. I took care of it.
There's too much.
Oh, feedback.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. The books that we're probably throwing out, I would say at least 15 years old.
Oh, at least.
Oh, yeah, we don't,
Okay.
we don't, Anna's shaking her head. She knows that we don't,
They get all run away.
yeah, yes. So-
Okay, yeah. Because I was wondering, because of like, maybe some the third country ones that maybe books, but 15 years old, then.
Yeah,
that's,
no, yeah. We don't, our textbooks are either, they're licenses now, but the old ones we don't, they're not usable.
Okay.
We
That's
can,
fine.
to sell them to Follett, which is a used book company, we probably get a nickel on a book because they're old. Couple of copyrights behind.
Okay.
Other board comments, questions? Mary?
I said earlier in the meeting before we started about a new piece of legislation that had just passed. And again, Leonia's board is ahead of things, which is great because we're thinking about what the community wants and what the students want and our stakeholders want. And a new piece of legislation now is going to require that New Jersey boards of ed will have a student representative, at least one student representative sitting on their board, not for closed sessions and not for voting, but just like our two representatives are here in that same capacity. And we're a little unique in that we have a senior member and then we have a junior who will then hopefully rise up and be a little bit more educated in the way the board works. So I want to thank the student representatives for being interested in being part of it, and you're kind of trendsetters. So good.
Definitely ahead of our time and definitely trendsetters. So use that position wisely. All right. Are there other board comments? Anything? Unmute. Just remember to unmute.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, is this good? All right. I just want to give a shout out to ACS and LMS admin team. I have a kid at both schools, so I get to receive all these communications and like surveys asking for parents' input on certain, the events that families are very interested in, like winter concert and just everything in general. I feel like we are much more connected. At least it feels that way. And I see the effort to reach out to the families and parents more than ever. And often these messages are also translated in two different languages. And I really want to say that we do appreciate it. And it's really good to see. It's a huge improvement. Thank you.
Thank you, Tommy. Anybody else? Students, you guys got anything? No worries if you don't. All right, move right along. Next item is approval of the consent agenda items. That's all items on the agenda marked with an asterisk. That doesn't include the new business ones. Yes. Is there a motion on new business items? Or I should first ask. Sorry, new business. I was going to ask if there's a motion on a consent agenda items, but let me ask first. Is there any items that you would like taken off the consent agenda? Anybody? No. All right. So now, is there a motion on the consent agenda items? Somebody, Maria. Is there a second? Kim, thank you. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Albany,
Yes.
Ms. Choi, Ms. De Jesus,
Yes.
Mrs. Bellman,
Yes.
Mr. Park,
Yes.
Ms. Rocco, Ms. Thompson,
Yes.
Mrs. Wild,
Yes.
Mr. Robbins.
Yes.
Yes.
Are there report this week?
No, there will be one. next
There will be one next.
First time in a while. All right. Next, we'll move on to our administrative reports, and we'll start with you, Dr. Bruce.
Okay, thank you.
Put the camera on you, so it
Oh,
just kind of sometimes flows better.
okay, thank you, Bryce.
Yeah, no problem. That's good. You're there, and you're there.
Oh, okay, look at this one. All right, thank you, Mr. Robbins. Just a few items tonight. First of all, the high school had a virtual open house this week. It went well. Mr. Callender reported that there was a good attendance at it. Again, we are only holding events in the buildings when we know that we can control the numbers. So back to school night and open houses are virtual. As you know, the concert's coming up. Since we're limiting tickets to 2 per person, will be in person. We want it as many things as in person as possible, and that will be done in a safe manner. So our open house last week was virtual, and then our Academy and Conservatory open house, which is tomorrow night. Mr. Calendar's already sent out the links. There are presentations from each of the 7 academies and conservatories, and then there's a question and answer period, which will be live with Mr. Callender, and all the information has been sent out, I think yesterday or today. The winter season has begun, and that means sports, our school play, our concerts that we talked about. I just want to emphasize one thing on the concerts, that we are having the concerts because it's good for our students to perform in public. and to have a good time doing the concerts, especially in the lower grade levels. However, as I said earlier, we want to make sure they're safe concerts, so that's why they're being held in the gymnatorium in the middle school. And that's why we're going to be very strict, and this is for everyone, to 2 tickets per family. We can't allow more than 2 people in to make sure it's safe. And again, the purpose of these concerts is to have our children perform for their parents and for groups. But that's the most important part, that they can perform in a concert setting. So it might be a little unfortunate for some families, but again, the tickets will be limited to 2 only per family. So in the case of the elementary school, we have 3rd grade concerts and 4th grade concerts. The parents will get tickets for the 3rd grade concert. And if they also have a 4th grader, they'll get another set of tickets for the 4th grade concert. We'll clear the gymnatorium after the 3rd grade concert, and they'll let parents back in for the 4th grade. So if you have children in the 3rd and 4th, you will get 2 different sets of tickets to admit you to the different concerts. Okay. Now updating on our progress with the Hurricane Ida situation. The middle school is, I don't want to say hours away from opening the cafeteria again, but days away. They are halfway through the tiling, the final tiling of the cafeteria in middle school. So I think Kevin, Zonti, and I are having breakfast maybe along with Eric on Monday morning in the cafeteria for the grand opening. It looks beautiful. Kevin has done a great job. The crew's done a great job. We're very happy with that. The high school is close. The 8-day virtual learning is finished. They're back at school. The south wing, which is where the science classrooms are, and the health room is about half done. We probably will let the students back in sooner than later. Again, we're talking about a couple of days away before some of our science, the south wing is occupied again, which obviously make it easier for the kids in the halls, because the halls are tight in this part of the building. After the south wing is finished, then we will complete the central wing, which is more office space, main office, nurse's office, athletic director, child study team, guidance. That'll be a little longer, and that will be done second. The gym floor in the high school is going to be longer. We are probably, if we have anything in the high school for the winter season, it'll probably be with very limited fans, because we will not have the bleachers, either new bleachers or the old bleachers, back in place, because the floor has to get done first. So that's probably going to be the last thing that's done here at the high school. At this point, we'd like to thank the Leonia Rec Department, the Edgewater Rec Department, maybe St. John's, and also our sports boosters for being very cooperative in giving us facilities to use during this time period. Without them, we'd be in a lot of trouble. We're using the middle school, the rec centers in both Edgewater and Leonia for our wrestling team and our basketball teams. Let's see, what else? So we're getting very close to getting back to normal. With the Finance and Planning Committee is meeting on Monday. We're going to talk about some plans to try to avoid, especially the middle school cafeteria flooding. The high school is a longer process. We're going to try to initially stop the waters from coming in by using the old-fashioned sandbags, just to make sure that we don't get, after the floor goes down, we don't want another rainstorm and then another flood, because it certainly could easily happen again. So we need some long-range planning for the enclosing of the south wing by the circle. Even though it's very nice to have those windows there, that's where the water's coming in from, and it just doesn't make sense to keep flooding until the state does something about Grand Avenue. So we're getting close, and again, I want to thank Kevin Woods, our buildings and grounds staff, for all the work they've done so far. That's all I have.
Thank you. Any questions? Any questions?
Oh, that's right.
There you go. How did we forget that?
I don't know. I didn't write it down. On Tuesday night, we are hosting a vaccine center right here in the cafeteria for our 5 to 11-year-olds. The sign up is now, we sent out a reminder to everyone. We also offered it to our surrounding towns. We're one of the school districts that offered our facility. We certainly encourage vaccinations. We've had vaccination centers at the rec center and here, I don't know, for a long time now. And we're going to host it again for the little ones. It's 1/3 the dose. It'll be the first one. We'll also host a second dose. And importantly, they need to fill out the form from, it's a Walmart, NJDOE, and Leonia School District cooperation. There's a form that they should fill out in advance, 2 forms, one parent form and then one information sheet. That's on in the remind. The parent also has to bring ID. If the student child cannot get vaccinated by a grandparent or by an uncle or an aunt, it has to be the parent, and it has to have, the parent has to have identification. And it's 3 to 8 on Tuesday. We have 200 time slots for Tuesday. And if we get sold out, we could add another date. We'll add as many dates as necessary. Our goal obviously is to have as many students vaccinated 5 to 11 as we do from grades 7 through 12. Because most of our students in the upper grade levels are vaccinated.
Very high number.
Yeah, it's a very good number. Also, just while we're talking about that,
Go for it.
again here again. Every Friday between 3 and 5, if you want to get tested, it's free of charge. You have to show your insurance card. The insurance will be processed, but will be rejected by what the insurance companies have said. But the federal government has a grant, and LabQ, which is our company that we have, will test anybody, student, adult, resident, non-resident of Leonia or Edgewater. Anyone can come and get tested between 3 and 5. The results come quickly, and they've been very efficient, friendly, and it's worked well so far. It's right here in the parking lot. Yeah. No, in the parking lot. Every Friday between 3 and 5. Fridays between 3 and 5. Anybody can come.
So just to be clear, the testing on Fridays is in the parking lot.
Yes.
The vaccine clinic is going to be here, could probably come through the Ray Avenue.
Yeah,
entrance.
come to the Ray Avenue entrance.
Yes. Okay.
Thank you.
Just wanted to make
Yep.
sure.
If you have any questions, email me, call me. But the information sent out and remind today talks about the vaccination center. Okay?
Thank you. All right. Next, we'll move to Eric. Floor is yours. Yeah, report.
I actually don't have anything to report on.
Okay. No, that's perfectly fine. Keeps us moving. Kevin's on here. Anthony, do you have anything to share? You'd like to share? Sorry to put you on the spot. You're not you weren't on here, but
No, she's not on the agenda.
all right, no worries. It's fine. We'll keep everything moving. We'll go to education. Maureen.
Sure. So we met on October 26th. All right, sorry. So we met on October 26th, our committee, and actually a couple of the items are kind of already passed. So we talked about the LHS virtual schedule, which we already went virtual and came back. So that's done. Then actually, I might put Zanthi on the spot then. Dr. Caramonos updated us on the survey for the ARP funds that was going to be going out to all stakeholders. And then finally, Kim talked about a session she attended at the NJSBA conference on the Sustainable Schools Digital Star Program. So she's going to present on that at our next meeting. So we'll have an update after that, which is November, when is it? November 30th. So I don't know if there's anything to add on the survey, or we'll save that for next meeting.
So we sent out the survey when we sent out the last update. So I think it was the beginning of the month. The survey results have closed at this point because the grant is due. But we had a stakeholder survey, and then we also had a student survey. And we had a lot of results back from the student survey, which was great because we got a lot of feedback from students, which we really took when we were writing the grant. We really took it into account when we were writing all the programs for the grant.
More about that.
All right. For finance and planning, we met a few weeks ago. We had a good discussion on the status of our long-range planning. Kevin's walked the buildings with our new architects and engineers at Environetics, and they should be preparing some reports for us, hopefully in the coming months, I would say. Should be available to us soon. We also focus mostly our conversation on our technology and the status of our technology infrastructure. And on tonight's agenda, under new business, we'll be voting on discussing contract with CDI to make them our
Infrastructure supervisor.
infrastructure supervisor. There we go. I was trying to figure out the word for that. But basically, private company will be taking over a lot of our IT, and hopefully give us more resources to ensure that our IT infrastructure is sustainably running and is running well and efficiently. Just trying to think of anything else that we talked about.
Big meeting Monday night to go over a lot of things.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. On Monday night, we will have another finance and planning meeting. We have quite a few things to discuss. The only thing I guess I will somewhat mention is there may be good news in our future. Very good news for the school district. So, but that I guess we'll probably talk more about it at our December meeting if it comes true. So fingers crossed. Next, we'll go to community relations. Okay.
Thank you, Bryce. Community relations, we had a meeting last night. We had a discussion about our different methods of communicating with the stakeholders and with the public. We think we're doing a pretty good job, so we always want your input. If you think that we're missing something again, I think I may have said this last time, but we don't get, it seems like, and I appreciate the Dami's comment too, that if you're emailing one of the board members and they pass on any recommendations that we could be doing to improve the communications between everybody, that would be really helpful. I want to thank Zanthi and Uzma for updating the website. They're currently going through that too, which will be really helpful to the parents and to the students. I think we're going to not have a meeting in December because things seem to be going pretty well right now. Again, if I'm in error of that, let us know. Thank you.
Thank you, Mary. Next is policy. Isaac.
Yes. Well, policy committee met last week regarding the couple of policy changes. I mean, both of them pretty much the usual thing. So this one of them was both of them. Two of them are about the employees' vaccination requirements, and the second one is about the about COVID-19 related like school building safety, and the third one was we have a like removal of the virtual remote instruction program, emergency virtual or remote instruction program, and also we have some the changes in sexual harassment of students. It's about the giving some more opportunity for like Title IX jobs. That was about it, and also we talked about some of the other stuff, miscellaneous stuff. One of them is that if you have like any issue with the school, and just to like make sure that like a proper channel to go up to like the superintendent, and he will listen to you, and he will improve the whatever the opinions, and make our schools changes in the way you want it. Thank you.
Thank you, Isaac. Kim, safety and security.
Okay, thank you. We met on November 10th, and we talked about a couple of items. One was the resolution to increase the pedestrian safety around ACS. We're still working on editing that, and we'll be sending the revised copy to Bryce in the next week or so. Then we looked at the Safe Routes to School survey that was done at LMS a few years ago, and we went through a chart of some recommendations. Kevin's going to be following up and just checking out a couple of things around LMS for safety. We talked about a Safe Routes to School grant, how we will probably apply with the borough for that in 2022. And then Kevin gave us an update on all three schools. If you've walked by ACS, the windscreen is up on the Fort Lee Road side, and it looks great. And a couple of other things are in the works with Kevin at the three schools. Planters are going in, monitors, and I think he'll update the community more in the next newsletter.
Thank you very much. The The windscreens do look good. I just saw them.
They look great.
They look very nice.
And
But they're
sorry, the one
security
on
screens.
Broad Avenue is going up shortly.
Tomorrow, I think.
Tomorrow, hopefully
Tomorrow.
tomorrow, weather permitting.
I'm excited to see that one.
Yeah.
But it came out looking great. Student representatives, you guys got anything? Awesome.
So for a couple weeks, Eli and I have been working with Mr. Calendar to plan a student forum for all grade levels. It's going to take place in the high school. We don't have a set date yet because the virtual kind of like messed up our plans a little bit. But yeah, we just really want like more insight on how our students are feeling, what they need, what their concerns are. Yeah, I think that's it. Oh, also, Eli and I are both featured as leading roles in our fall Line Letters production. If you guys want to come out and see us.
In case anyone didn't hear, go support Line Lighters. No, that's really wonderful. The forum is a wonderful idea. Look forward to hearing more about how that shakes out. That's really wonderful.
Do you have a date in mind at all yet, or close to?
It was supposed yeah, like the Thursday before virtual, but we realized there was the SAT that day, so we're probably going to do it sometime in December after Thanksgiving break.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chris. All right. Next, we'll just move all the way down to new business, I believe, unless I'm making mistakes, but I don't think I am. The power of a consent agenda.
Yeah.
And for new business, Ed, I will
We have
turn to
numerous.
you.
Yeah, I know. I got this. We always mess up in the business. I apologize for new business, but there's some things that are important to have. We have
Right to
a student alumnus, David Gim. It's under letter A junior at Rutgers. He is thinking about changing from business to physical education. And he's requested to come in 2 times per week for, I guess, during his break from Rutgers before he makes the decision on making the change. So it's not part of education program at Rutgers because he is not sure if he wants to make the move, but he'd rather check it out before he makes the move. And we've always encouraged students to participate. Graduates come back and either student teach or just shadow. So this is just a very minor shadow where he'd be with a phys ed teacher, again, just 2 hours a day for a couple of weeks. He sent it out the other day. We wanted to make sure, because he has to get fingerprinted because he'll be with the kids. So if we wait till December, it'd be too late for him to get fingerprinted. So that's why I wanted to bring it in today. Letter B, same thing as you said before. We were meeting with the music teachers at ACS today, Zanti and I, and Dr. Martinez and Mr. Breyer about expanding the music lessons from 5th grade, which is now at the middle school, down to 4th grade. So we can allow our ACS students to participate in instrumental lessons. It would not, they'd be able to restructure their schedule, so it's not going to add to our staff. And Connor Babos and Rachel Duke have done a wonderful job down at ACS. In our discussion, we were talking about their room. There were 2 of the rooms that were redone because of the asbestos problem that we had in the last couple of months. So they were just discussing that we'd like to get rid of some things that are outdated in their rooms. So we said, get it over today, and I could get it just by luck by tonight, so we can approve it tonight so they can take care of it right away. So that's what letter B is there for. Letter C, we have an opening assistant wrestling. Steve was just able to interview the coach yesterday. If we waited to December, it would be a month without a coach as an assistant coach. So that's another reason why we walked in both the assistant wrestling coach and our volunteer wrestling coach. Hussein is one of our graduates. Mary.
Can I ask a question about that?
Yeah, sure.
In this one and in another line item, you use the word rate of instead of stipend. Is it supposed to be interchangeable, or is it a stipend, or is it a?
It's the same. It's one. It's the same. Yeah.
Sometimes you use one. Sometimes.
Yeah, I think sometimes I type it, sometimes Lorraine types it. So I think that's the reason why. It means the same thing. Yeah. It's a seasonal salary.
Okay, thank you.
Well, congratulations to Hussein. He and I were classmates together. So congratulations, Hussein.
Yes. And then as last night, Danielle accepted a position at Kearney as English supervisor. It's a significant increase in salary for Danielle. We wish her the best. She just gave me the resignation letter today. She talked to me about it yesterday before the approval by the board. And we wish her the best. And then finally, Vic, you want to just review, I mean, we asked for certain changes in the CDI contract. Vic has been dealing with the attorney from CDI, and I think you're fine with everything everything we wanted, we got.
They made all the changes that we requested, yes.
So we're happy with that.
That's fine.
They were helpful, I guess, last Monday, when was it, a week ago Monday, when we had a problem with Genesis? The CDI was very helpful getting us back on.
Okay.
So we'd like to get that approved for tonight too.
Is that?
That's what I sent it to you in electronic format, but I also printed out for you. This is the changes. And this is what Vic has reviewed thoroughly. And
Committee review as well.
oh yeah, but
Shout
Vic's,
out to the guy
you
now.
know,
Vic's the legal
Vic's the
eye.
lawyer, so not the committee doesn't do a
No,
great
no.
job, but the lawyer, we always want the lawyer
I
to check
know, I
it. And those are the items for new business. Questions?
Yeah, Tommy.
Working with our tech team.
So I understand there's some issues still remaining. It's a different issue that you're tackling right now.
The
It's
issue,
accessing, pretty much accessing parent portal of Genesis.
Parent Portals, what happened with Parent Portal for over the weekend was that there was a certificate that wasn't processed properly by our tech squad, our tech team under Tafari. So as a result, it ran out. So if you read if a parent saw it, said it was unsafe. So we didn't want the parents to get panicky over it. So we just said it was under maintenance.
Right, so it's still stated that way. So
It's still stated right now, it's under maintenance
Yeah.
now? Okay, we'll change that
When I
tomorrow.
checked earlier today, it was
We'll
still
change it
that way.
tomorrow. We'll change it
Okay, we'll
tomorrow.
change it
Yes,
tomorrow. Just wanted to make sure if it's a different issue or
No.
an issue that is being addressed.
No, it'll be changed tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Thank
yes.
you.
Sorry about that, Tom.
No worries.
Other
Other questions?
questions on new business? Isaac, yeah.
So anytime there's something like the issue, the CDI one, what they did, are we getting reports or what's the problem and what cause of it?
A lot of it had to do with the rollover from the cloud to our server, and those things are taken care of.
My question is like, at least we kind of compile some kind of reports that kind of thing, so whatever, like, we take over from the CDI to us, or,
So you-
kinda like we need to.
You want you report on that? You want me to get your report on what they did?
Oh, yeah, I don't get it, but it's like, at least for our perspective, for the future references, there's some gathers and then they can, yeah.
Just, yeah, keep me record. what
Yeah,
they did.
sure, yeah, okay, yeah, all right. That's not, yeah, fine. We'll put it in a document, so we have it.
Yeah, Kim. Just unmute. Sorry. There you
For the CDI contract, how long is it for?
Vic? I defer to our
Sure,
lawyer. We
that's,
worked out the details on that.
So it's 2 years, which is the maximum length of time that you can have under a contract that is not included within, there's certain special things that you can do for more than 2 years. But it's for 2 years. It has the option of renewing it for 1 additional year, maybe 2 one-year options. I forget off the top of my head. But the more important thing, I think, is that you have a provision in there that we made sure was put in that either party can terminate upon 60 days written notice for no reason at all. If you just decide that you don't want to continue doing it, you can terminate on 60 days written notice. The previous version of the contract didn't have any of that. So we made sure that that was put in there.
Is that, we asked for it.
Right, right.
So, yeah, so we appreciate Vic looking over the fine print and making sure that they dotted their i's and crossed the t's.
Any other questions, comments, concerns? All right. All right. Is there a motion on new business items? Mary, is there a second? Noreen? I assume there's no further discussion. I should have done this before. Discussion? No? Okay, great. Roll call, please. Or whoever's doing the roll call.
Yes.
Ms. Twitch,
Yes.
Ms. De Jesus,
Yes.
Ms. Melman, Ms. Melman,
Yes.
Mr. Parr,
Yes.
Ms. Rocco, Ms. Thompson,
Yes.
Ms. Wiles, and Mr. Robbins.
Yes.
Motion passed.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Thank you, guys.
And just like that, we're back at public comment. Is there a motion to take us into public comment for the second? Anna, second. Isaac, all in favor? Any opposed, any abstentions? All right, at 8:07, we are already at the second public comment portion. Not trying to get too cocky here, but it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Sure. Are there any members of the public that wish to speak? No. Okay. All right. Is there a motion to take us back into the regular portion of the meeting? Isaac, is there a second? Christina, all in favor? Any opposed, any abstentions? No, great. 8:08, we're back into the regular portion of the meeting. No, it's closed session. Unless there's any board comments. Yep, Mary, just don't forget to unmute.
All right, quick comment. Ed and I attended, Dr. Burley and I attended the Bergen County School Board's meeting, and he did a really great presentation about the social emotional learning programs that we were doing for our students and for our staff in the district. There were also other presenters at this county meeting, which was really interesting. One of them was called Alumni in Recovery, and they offered, it's like a free program. They offered to share information and a video library with us. So it's a great program. So I'm hoping that we're going to follow up with that. Awesome, good, thank you. And there were other presenters who talked about different legislation and things like that. And these county meetings were always really interesting. The food is decent. And you know, we get to hear and kind of schmooze a little bit with other people from the area. So nice job. Thank you, Dr. Bernalini.
And I'm gonna jump in on that.
Go
So I was also going to mention the same thing again. Kudos to Dr. Bertolini for an excellent presentation, and he was very well received by a full room. I attended virtually, so I did not get to eat. One of the other things I'd want to mention was that they are strongly recommending mentoring for new board members, and Mary has already taken that under her wing and already been speaking with the arts board members and administration. And it's an idea Mary and I have both had in our individual districts, and we're really excited that to be supported by school boards.
Yes.
And along the Alumni in Recovery is actually a group I've have some experience with. They are excellent. And interestingly, one of the items mentioned by the advocacy branch of school boards is that the state has a grant for $45,000 for mental wellness to help our students and staff recover or move forward after any effects from the pandemic. And they mentioned that that's not nearly enough. So it seems as though school boards is really taking steps forward to try and touch on that aspect of the learning environment. Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome. Happy to share a screen.
By the way, Bryce, I want to point out that Dr. Bertolini's presentation was discussed at the Hallworth board meeting on Wednesday night. And you got some good reviews from the Hallworth board members who attended, as well as I believe the superintendent.
Oh, great.
So it just happened to remind.
Hallworth. I should have ran in Hallworth.
Famous over here. Congratulations also to Dr. Bertolini on a unsuccessful but hard fought run in Fairlawn.
Yes.
I saw a few of your signs when I drove through Fairlawn.
2,097 votes I got now. It's,
Yeah.
keeps, it's a Democratic town. The votes keep coming in. Oh, geez. All right, moving on.
I thought it was fun.
Yeah, that was good. That was good. That was good.
All right. Are there any other board comments, student comments? Anybody? No? All right. With that being said, is there a motion to take us into closed session? I thought we did. Maybe not. If we don't, we don't. No? Okay.
No, we just had the CDI.
Okay, great. So then there's no need to go into closed?
Unless
Someone else wanted to ask
Personnel
something about
questions.
personnel. No? All right. Then we don't even have to do it. We can just go right to personnel. Wow, that was so quick.
I know, you want to make a motion?
Is there a motion on personnel items? You guys can
You can
stay till the
stay
end.
now, you can stay now, because we're not going to close.
Maria, is there a second? Someone?
Isaac?
Isaac?
Any questions, any questions?
I mean, it's personnel. We
Oh,
probably
we
wouldn't.
can't, well, just if there's a question, I don't know.
Are there any
Yeah.
questions on personnel items?
Can answer them, but.
I can't really answer them now, but, all right, roll call, please.
Ms. Albanese,
Yes.
Ms. Choi, Ms. De Jesus, Ms. Melman,
Yes.
Mr. Park,
Yes.
Ms. Rockow, Ms. Thompson,
Yes.
Ms. Wilds, and Mr. Robbins.
Yes.
Motion passes.
All right, and in what looks like it will be a record meeting tonight.
Yes.
Next meeting will definitely have some more exciting things. Not necessarily exciting. Good things, hopefully.
These are good things.
Yeah, no, very good. I mean, like, very good
Very
things, but I mean, like, you know,
We don't want
very
to.
good meeting. Yeah.
Who wants
People,
controversy?
I don't know.
No one left.
No one left
No
us.
one
No one
left.
left
No one left.
I sense emotion coming up.
Oh, just-
All right,
Is there a motion?
adjourn the meeting.